Good morning, everyone. Welcome to White River Buddhist Temple. Today is March 31st, Easter for some people, and we're glad that you're here today on a beautiful day. So we will start with sutra chanting. Jusei Ge, you'll find on page 23 of your purple service book.
Can I ask that everyone please put your hands together in Gassho or bow your head in contemplation as we say together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Nots, Namo Nots, Namo Nots, Namo. 主会王像公職の苦法上王内主従説法ししく供養意債務具足主と得意三害を女無無下地つなみ不詳願学えり投資最小損し大戦の感動国書店に統治名家なまなむなまなむなまなむなまなむなまなむがにしぐどく病のせいさいのほんぼないしおうじょうあんだこCan I ask that everyone please once more put your hands together in Gasho or bow your head in contemplation as we say once again, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Nox, Namo Nox, Namo Nox, Namo.
For those of you who are able, please rise, and we will read the three treasures, or you'll follow along with me in the appropriate sections, and then we will please remain standing for the song, our Gothic. So, page 3 of the Purple Book. Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in a life of harmony in the spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Today's first gatha or song is Seya. You'll find it on page 163 of our service book. Yes. I've got to move this podium. Okay. 163. Seya. Thank you. You may be seated. Now we will have our Dharma message from Reverend Cindy.
Can I ask that everyone please put your hands together in Gassho or bow your head in contemplation as I read these words from Master Shandao. Ganishi kudoku, byodo seisai, dohotsu bodaishin, ojo annakok. May we share these virtues equally with one and all, and together attaining birth in the land of bliss. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Knots. Namo. Well, hello everyone. It's nice to see you after 2 weeks of my absence of not being here. Test, test. And I am happy that the weather's getting a lot nicer. Again, as someone from Southern California, winter's a little hard for me. And so it's nice that it's slowly going into spring. Right? It's very nice. So, coming back down. So, 2 weeks ago, no, not 2 weeks ago. That's when Minister's Assistant Sarah talked. 3 weeks ago, I talked about the ekoku, which is the last part of what we chant during our sutra chanting. The Gani Shikudoku Byodo Seisai Dohotsu Bodaishin Ojo Annaku. And so today, I would like to do a second part on the ekoku. Sorry. And so I have these handouts. Hopefully I made enough. We'll see. If I could ask you guys to pass around that on that side and pass it around. Oh, I did not evenly distribute it, so I apologize for that in advance. But what I am passing out is both sides look very similar. And this is the ekoku, right? So it says, ga nishiku roku byodo seisai, dohotsu bodaishin, ojo an nakok. Right? Yeah. I know it's still passing around. And again, this is, again, written by Master Shandao, who is one of the 7 masters who we have on the scrolls over there. And he is the one that wrote this. This is a part of what we call the Kisan Boge, which we usually recite at funerals. But this part is specifically taken out of the Kisan Boge. And this is what we chant at the end of every chant. It's like the Kisan Boge, which you guys don't need to know. And what I wanted to go over today was there are 2 different ways of enunciating, I guess you could say, this ekoku. And so if you look on the left-hand side of the page, this is one way of doing it, right? And I'm going to go fast and probably not on key, so I apologize for this, everybody who's musically talented. I am not. So this one, again, goes fast. I'll do it fast. Ga nishiku doku byou no usei sai dou hotsu bo nai shin oujou an nako. Right? Right. So this is the ekoku musically that we sing after the Shoshin number 2 get. The Shoshin number 2 get and the number 2 wasan. And this is one way of chanting the ekoku. Now I will confuse you all because the right-hand side of the page is very similar. And you may be able to tell the difference. So I am going to do the right-hand side of this page. Gam nishiku doku byou no usei sai dou hon bo nai shin oujou an nako. Yeah. So were you able to find the difference between that? It might have been a different key. That's not it. That is not it. So with the second one, at the top of the page, I had to copy and paste a little bit on my own. But it's with bion. Bion. So bion is comprised of the kanji characters, if you could sort of see it tiny on the top of the right-hand side of the page. Bi, which is hana, which is nose, and on, which is sound. Hana no oto, right? Nose sound. And so bion is something we learn as ministers. It's this nasal noise that you're supposed to make. You're supposed to make. And I'm sorry, I don't do it right. I don't do it right. Because the thing is that the breath has to go through your nose. And I don't know about you, but I'm afraid there's something in my nose that I'm going to projectile out to someone in front of me. Right? So what I learned is if you don't want to do the nasal sound, right, you do a sound. So you close your mouth. And so bion apparently is a way, as I was told by my teachers, it's a way so that you don't spit, right? So you don't cover the person in front of yours back with spit, right? More importantly, for ministers, it's so you do not spit on the sutras, right? It's for you to not spit on the sutras, right? And so we change, there's, in the first one that I did, right? There's a tsu in that third line, doho tsu bodaishin. That tsu changes to a or that nasal sound. Did everybody pick that up first? Yeah, some people did. Good. And the bion is technically something you're supposed to do in all of the chants, all of your chanting. So every tsu you see the TSU in your book, you should be doing a sound, is what we learned as ministers. The only chant where you pronounce the tsu, the TSU, is the Shoshin Nembutsu Ge and the Nembutsu Wasans. That's the only time that you pronounce the tsus. It must be because, right, the Shoshin Nembutsu Ge is written by the founder of Jodo Shinchu, Shinran Shonin, who's on this altar right next to Amida Buddha. So it is important for us to pronounce, right, every single word of Shinran Shonin's. Not saying that the other sutras aren't important, because they're super important, right? But we use bion for all the other chants. Right? And I do have to say, the one on the right, again, is not something we chant every time we do, like Jusei-ge today, Sambutsu-ge. The cadence is a little differently, like the rhythm is a little different, right? And musically, it's a little different. But we use that one specifically during when you chant, if you ever get to chant, the Ojo Rai-san, or the Hanju-san, which are chants actually from Master Shandao, who also wrote the Koku. Why we do it like that? I don't know. That's just how it is, right? But you do use the same cadence that you use for the same one from the left side during that one. So I am teaching you something that you might need to learn, because Koyama Sensei has been on a Hanju-san teaching binge recently, and so he really wants everyone to learn the chant Hanju-san. It's really, really short. It's a shorter version of the Shoya Rai-san, or the other Ojo Rai-sans, which tend to be a little longer. But the Hanju-san is also something that the home temple in Japan typically chants during the week of Ohigan, which we just celebrated jointly last week, right? The spring and fall equinoxes, right? That is a time that we tend to chant Hanju-san. And so the right one would be that ekoku that we would chant at the end of Hanju-san. So if we ever ask Koyama Sensei to do a seminar on Hanju-san, we'll run into that again. And during that, right, you use the bion, do, ho, n. Doing that third line, do, ho, n. Right. I was going to ask, did we all want to try doing it. First one, and I'll say this, preface this. First one, we'll do it on the left side of the page, right? The left side of the page. This is for the Shoshin Nembutsu Ge and the Nembutsu Wasans. Right? And I'm trying to highlight this because there's a difference. Right? The specific chants, and as a minister, is something that I learned. Right? So I will count this off. Hopefully I keep the count. Everyone who's musically talented could ridicule me afterwards. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gam ni shiku no ku byou no usei sai do hotsubo nai shim o jou am na ko. Very good. Now let's try it with the bion, right? That third line, it's a do ho bo dai shi. Right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gam ni shiku no ku byou no usei sai do ho bo nai shim o jou am na ko. Very, very good. Now, the thing is remembering this. Next week we'll be most likely be doing the Jusei Ge during the what is it? The Shotsuki Hoyo, the monthly memorial service, right? Next week we're doing our Shotsuki Hoyo, our monthly memorial service for next week for April, right? We'll chant the Jusei Ge, and during that chant we use bion, right? So this, I know, didn't have a lot of bion for you to practice with in this, but this is an example, right, of learning not to spit at the person in front of you. And if you're worried about nose projectiles, either don't blow through your nose or blow your nose before you chant. Okay. So I look forward to chanting with you all again next week, in which we will chant again the Jusei Ge, with bion. Right? Every chant has bion except for the Shoshin Nembutsu Ge and its wasans, Nembutsu wasans. Okay. So, if you would like to practice at home, again, you do not have to feel like you're obligated to do that, right? I have said this before and time again. I'm teaching you stuff that I, as a minister, had to do, but it's not something you need to do, especially since this is something new for all of you, right? This is something new for all of you to practice. It's because I've practiced this so many times that I'm conditioned to this, right? So even if next week you say tsu, TSU, that's totally fine, right? Again, Amida Buddha is not, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion is not going to dock us on any points, any karmic points, because we say Tzu. If so, I have many, many docked points. This was not only before becoming a minister, but when I'm too tired and I forget when I'm a minister. Right? Amida Buddha doesn't, I should phrase this differently. Amida Buddha embraces you no matter how you chant, no matter how you pronounce things. Right? Amida Buddha is the Buddha who allows you to chant and say it how is easiest for you to pronounce it. Right? Saying Nam Myoho Amida Butsu is very hard for people. Right? And so when we do the Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs, Naman Dubs, right? Sometimes it's a little easier and people say it a little differently. Right? That's totally fine. As well as, again, with the beyond. I will say it with the with my closed mouth and honestly closed nose, because I'm still worried about my nose projectiles. But you could do it as you would like, because of Amida's infinite wisdom and compassion. Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion. Okay. So again, something to keep in our heads next week when we chant Jusei. So in closing, can I have us all please put our hands together in Gasho or bow your head in contemplation as we think upon this teaching in gratitude. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Nuts. Namo Nuts. Namo Nuts.
Thank you, Sensei, for that enlightening and I guess sanitary. Dharma talk to let us know there are reasons for what you do and what we should be doing to keep everybody safe. Oh my goodness, that picture stays in my mind. All right, so now we will sing the Gatha or song, Odok-san 2. You'll find it on page, let's see, 153. Somebody has the wrong page number in this paper. We're going to have to fix that one of these days. It is 153. This paper says 152. It is 152? 3. Oh, okay, let's, this is, yeah, all right, page 153. Thank you. And Ruth, thank you so much for playing. It's so nice to have live music. One of the many things we've realized through the pandemic and so forth that is special and should be acknowledged and appreciated. So, we will read the Daily Creator Jodo Shinshu. You'll find it on page 8. That much I remember. So, Daily Creator Jodo Shinshu, please follow me. Realizing enlightenment is assured and reciting the Nembutsu, I shall live my life cheerfully and positively. Understanding the oneness of life and cultivating self-reflection, I shall diligently attend to my life's tasks in gratitude. Recognizing the Dharma path, I shall help spread the teachings of the Buddha. Appreciating the Buddha Dharma, I shall respect and help others, working for the good of society. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Thank you. You may be seated. I do want to say I wasn't here yesterday. I had to wait for a repair person at home. But I do see everything is much more sparkly today. Thank you all of you who attended the cleaning yesterday. It is appreciated. Maybe those glints and sparkles will enlighten you too. So now it's time for announcements. I'll make a few. There is candy out there. I guess the Easter Bunny did make a stop here. Maybe he's the Buddhist Easter Bunny. Say that fast 3 times and see where you go. So there's a little stash of candy out there on the table. There will be a BWA meeting after service at the back of the room there. So members are welcome to join and listen on to what's been happening. So are there any more announcements?
Many of you remember Reverend Oda and his wife Kay Oda. They recently moved, and so there's a card in the back if you'd like to send them a quick note and just say hi. I think they'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, as you can see from our announcements, we have a real exciting April. And I want to add one thing to April 7th, and that is that after we hear our speaker, Miri Cypers, we will be able to meet and have some appetizers and a little bit more conversation. And if she's able to stay for a few more minutes, then as we all know, everybody doesn't like to raise their hand when a speaker says, "Do you have any questions?" But maybe if she's here afterwards, somebody might want to walk up to her one-to-one and ask a question and thank her for being here, because we're so excited to be able to resume our speaker series. Another thing that's taking place is White River Buddhist Temple will have a booth at Kent International Festival, and that is on June 1st at the Showware Center, and we will be there from 10 in the morning until 5 in the evening, so we'll be there all day. And if you look at the Community Connections board in the front, then you'll have an opportunity to sign up for some shifts. Maybe you want to be there at the booth in the morning or be there in the afternoon. So really looking forward to that. Hope you will all be here next Sunday for Miri Cypers. Thank you.
We are going to resume our ukulele practice on the first and the third Sunday, which I did not remember today. I thought it was today, but there's another Sunday here. If you would like to join us, that would be wonderful. I have struggled to get into the computer that has the list of all the people. So if you are here today and you know other people who have joined us in the past, I'd really appreciate it if you could call those people. We are struggling to get that list remade. But until we do, I would really appreciate the people that would help us contact the people that usually come. Thank you.
Okay, two announcements. One is a reminder about Tacoma Buddhist Temple's Sukiyaki fundraiser. It is on that orange pamphlet as well. Remember that is pre-order only. Pre-order only. So if you would like sukiyaki, please pre-order your sukiyaki by April 13th. There is a forms out in the foyer if you would like to pre-order your sukiyaki meal. And please send it to Tacoma Buddhist Temple, or if you end up bringing it here on a Sunday with the check in an envelope, I would be willing to bring it to Tacoma for you. And I will just double check with me later that I give it to again, the order deadline is April 13th, and they will have a dine-in option, unfortunately, from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. On April 21st. There should be enough time after service to go for a dine-in, but then they will have a drive-through from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. And if you don't want to send snail mail, you could also order online at the Tacoma Buddhist Temple website. Okay. So that is first announcement. Second announcement is that we have these service books, right? We have these service books that were made by Sacramento Betsuin, and these are nice books to have for yourself at home if you would like to do a small service by yourself at home, or if there is a chance that I come over and you would like to have me chant along with you, or you would like to chant along with, you could use this as well. But this is a nice personal service book for you to have. I do have to say that this is not my face at the very beginning of it. It's Reverend Matt Hamasaki, who at that time was the minister of Sacramento Betsuin at that time. It is a very good book in regards to making sure that it's well, you could read it well, and it's actually a little nice because at least the Jusei Gear page, unfortunately the Sambutsu Gear page is too long, but it has the Romanized version on one side and the translations on the other. I like that a lot. So this is a nice service book to have. They are available at the back of the room for you to grab on your way out today, if you would like. Okay? So please feel free to take this home for yourself. Okay? Thank you very much.
Oh, please. Welcome, Nelson. Glad you could join us. Please feel free to ask any members questions if you don't understand something. We might understand it. Again, we might not. We'll find somebody to help you. We're glad to see new people, and all of us here at one time were new too. So don't feel shy or anything like that. It's good for all of us to realize that yes, there is a first time for everybody, for everything, and to be sympathetic. And as Sensei said, Amida embraces us all, no matter how we chant or don't chant, sing or don't sing, it's all fine. Okay, well, good. So we will have our closing remarks. We don't have a program today. Some of us know the words by heart. Those of you who can, follow along with me. My life is not only my life, but also the life of others, sacrifices, kindness, thoughtfulness, and patience. I am grateful. Namo Das. Namanda, 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 namanda. Thank you for attending today's service. Those of you who wish, you may come up and do Oshoko or blessing. It is not a obligation on you for anything. It just is a sign of gratitude for whatever you're grateful for. It doesn't bind you to anything. You don't. Some people have some strange ideas about what coming up front means. It's just a sign that you appreciate things. Thank you all very much.